Alright, so I wanted to make a video of my thoughts. I thought of myself, I want to think of something cool, right? Kaze, because there's this one anime called Kaze No Stigma, right? And it's based on an anime on this main character. He was born into a family that will control flame. But since he cannot control flame, he's an outcast, so they didn't accept him. So years later he come back, he was a wind user, or contract wind. And I was thinking about the wind. The wind can go any direction, right? And I was thinking about how I wanted to have no attachment to any group or identity, because I just don't. It's how I think that's how creative people are, because you have certain identity that you attach to. You're not only like a gamer. You have other identity attached to it. You might like certain food or coffee drinks or Starbucks or some other type, or some type of books, or like you don't want just associate with authors because you like you rarely, I mean, you learn from them, but you want to learn from, what I would say is like, people want to become a people person, right? You don't just want to associate the people that are in your industry or whatever. Like I used to talk about I'm an interviewer, but I don't really identify myself as an interviewer. It's just a skill set, or that I have developed. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but I'm saying like now I can just interview people in anywhere I could go, whether it's a cop, whether it's a firefighter, whether it's, you have to collect, if you want to you want to collect data from people, or not data, well technically it is data, right? Because that's transferring their thoughts or their ideas into your their inner world to your world, right? And you want to hear different opinion from different people, not just from your industry or from, you know, like for instance, it's like you let's say the card game I play, right? If people who only associate with Yu-Gi-Oh player, that's what their world is about, and people, it's like you shouldn't break out of it, but you won't learn anything from any other industry. You have to understand other industry, right? It's like if people have attachment to because the more that you can learn, the more that you can help other people to understand things, and the more that you have pull people around you, like not around, but like when you, let's say you, I know that people say you if you want to understand, if you want to understand something, or you follow your curiosity, is the great way to kick in that gear to like, hey, I want to know that. I wonder what that girl or guy experiences. I want to ask that. So you go ask, and that idea or that that download into your mind, and it changes your way of thinking, and you start to say, ah, that's why. And so you have to be like a change-a-lot. You have to be, now for me, I'm not as strong. I'm not, I have lots of fears and a lot of really not, sometimes I kick myself down, right? And it's not always like, oh, yeah. It's like people think like, oh, just out the gate I have like tons of confidence in, but it's like built over time. It's like, oh, people think that just because you build a skill you lose it. Not, it does not necessarily you lose it. It's just that you don't feel like using it. It's like you don't want to use it, like go away. But it reminded me of like, if we can learn to be able to look at people at as an equal, and be able to talk to them, and to hear what they're actually like, what was it, their stories and whatever, and it was like, ah, okay. And also I realized new experience will change, it help you with new ideas or new perspective, new lens, and it breaks, since it help you to innovate and generate new ideas that you never thought about before. I was like, and you look at a different angle, and it's like, oh, I didn't see that before. How come I didn't see that? And bam. So that's why like people are comfortable with being around similar people because they're like them. But also you want to understand like why people do these type of things and why they have, like, why. Because I was asking my friend when we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, he have like a couple of decks, and he built decks because it was, the artwork was amazing, and there was other decks that was like a witchcrafter. It was based on like a girl art, and he thought it was cute, and he had like a sticker. It's like, huh, he like cute stuff. You can tell by the personality or different thing that they like, and you can really tell about that. That's my thoughts for today. I just want to be like the Win, where I can just, because one of my friend I talked to, he's like, you know, you're very open-minded, and I was like, okay. And that's where I can collect tons of ideas from people, because if you have like an identity and you close off from other industry or other people ideas, you don't collect them, you don't alchemate them, and you don't it doesn't make it doesn't have, what was it, bounce ideas off, right? And it create new ideas and create new perspective, it create new lens to see through the world. And the new experience change you. As it change you, as you change yourself, so the people that you attract are very different from way before, like the past. You only, when you built skills or mindset or whatever, you only attract those type of people. But when you start developing, or your dreams, or your dreams, when you go after your dream and you start building them, you start to attract different people in your life, and you start to develop different skills, and that help you along the way, and you move up toward that. And yes, you know, they have, now people think that going after dreams, like, you're not, like, people think that you need to be a strong person. Not necessarily. I'm not strong. Like, I have like tons of fears, like a lot of people, and oftentimes it's scary, right? And we gotta it's like, was I always like this to talking to people? I guess so, but it wasn't like the skill that I have now. But anyway, that's my thoughts. I'll see you.